This video is going to be about how to fix the iPhone 7 Plus front-facing camera. So the first thing we want to do is remove the two pentalobe screwdrivers on the bottom of your iPhone. The second thing you want to do is either take a suction cup or heat up your phone, then take a suction cup and pull up on the phone. And as you're doing this, you would gradually want to take a pick and you want to slide it through just like this. Again, be careful not to stick your pick too deep in because there are logic board connectors and display connectors on the left side, which is the power button side. So once you are successful doing that, the phone should open up into a book-like case. So we just want to be careful over here and open it up like this. And again, there are tiny little grooves on the iPhone over here. So that's how it's stuck in place over there. So you just want to pull back slightly, not too hard to damage these ribbon cables. So now that you are inside the phone, it might take some time as a beginner or if you just are opening up your phone for the first time, because Apple does put very hard and reinforced adhesive in their phones. And so now that we have this opened up, we can finally take a look at what we're going to fix, and that is the front-facing camera. And so the front-facing camera is right here. So we can easily access it by, first off, unscrewing this little bracket, removing this, which is the connector for the front-facing camera. And so we can start removing that right now. And we are going to need a tri-wing screwdriver, and there are 3 tri-wing points that we are going to need to unscrew. So once you got your tri-wing screwdriver, Y000, just going to unscrew this. And so mine has already been opened up before, so it is very easy for me to finish this. And yes, sometimes screws do go all places. So now that we have access to this ribbon cable, we just want to pull lightly just like that. And so to make this a little bit easier, we can also remove these 4 tri-wing screws so we can get easier access to the display without the display being connected to the battery and the main logic board. So to do this, you would just, again, take your Y000 bit and unscrew. So once you have all these screws, make sure to keep your screws in a more organized place. Unlike me, like a magnetic screw mat or just a place where you won't lose them. Again, sometimes screws might get lost in very small places due to the amount of space that there is on this phone. So now taking a closer look at the phone, you see that we have 2 flex cables over here. And so we just want to pull lightly, or with another tool, we can just remove them. For now, I'm going to pull on these 2 digitizer tabs, and the display is loose. Of course, the more organized thing and the better thing to do in this situation is probably to remove the battery, which the battery cable is right there, and that is the connector to the logic board. So now that we have our display finally freed from the motherboard, we can finally start prepping, and we can finally start actually getting to, well, the fun stuff. And so, as you can see over here, this is already the flex cable. And so, we just have to remove all these Phillips head. So I can get my Phillips head screwdriver. and then I can just start to unscrew just like that. Are a lot of individual pieces that you are going to have to keep track of, and you have to be very gentle because you are working with small tiny flex cables, and for some displays and some, or if you're replacing the display and the camera, it might be a little different, and I'll walk you through exactly what you need to do. So here is the last Phillips head screwdriver. Of course, if this is your first time removing an iPhone, this error probably won't happen to you because there wouldn't be any screws, but even if it does, at least now you know how to fix it. And this little thing over here is the speaker grill, and have the screw attached to it, so we can just move that to the side. You have the speaker grill, and you want to keep this to the side. This is a very important part of the process. So we're going to just put that over there. You can see that this is stuck on, and so we're going to be explaining how to remove this in a second. If the camera focuses, all right. All you're going to do is just pull this way, and again, lightly, and everything should just pop out just like that. And this is the old one, so I'm going to put this to the side. And for some front-facing cameras and screens, this might already be installed. And if it is installed, this is a good sign. And so now that we do have the replacement flex cable, you see that we actually have a little adhesive pull tab over here. And the reason why is because the adhesive gets stuck over here. And so to fix this issue, where you have an adhesive thing right here and you already have one, you can just take a pair of pliers, just like what I'm doing, and clean it off. But honestly, it doesn't really matter, as anyways it kind of fortifies the strength of the seal, which in turn it leads to better seal. And because you're here, you might want to clear out your little port over here. Of course, those fingerprints are from the outside because I do have a screen protector. So now we are going to be talking about how to exactly fold this little piece of technology. Is folded up is actually quite simple. And so the first thing you want to do is bend it over here on this little dent right here, and you can actually see that there is some elevation. You want to bend it here and bend it back on where the adhesive tab is. You want to bend this little camera back. And so over here is where your speaker grill is going to fall on place. So the best thing to do, in my opinion, is to line up everything, and I'm going to be showing you in a second after I fold everything properly. Grill and put it on top. And as you can see, the camera, well, I'm going to clean this off really quickly. So no fingerprints for the best quality. And then we can put this right here. And so that's literally how you replace the camera. So of course it is tricky, but once you get the hang of it, it is kind of easy. And now that we have this, we can just put everything back together and screw it up. So you just relocate all the screws. We'll relocate this little thing on top of it. Find the proper screws. Finally put this down. Get a screwdriver. And just cut to the part where I put everything back in. Got it. So, is to test it. So, just gonna take the phone and put everything back together temporarily. So you want to connect up these two ribbon cables. We'll feel a click. And again, don't try really hard until you definitely know that you have it in there. And the last one goes right there. So now we can power it on. So that is good. We did get the Apple logo, meaning everything is working so far. Yep, there we go. We got camera feedback. Oh my God. Let's go. That is very nice. Of course, it looks a little different. I do have a blue light filter on my phone. We can continue to move on. So by hitting, I'm at the volume down and the power button. We have everything organized. Well, we just put everything back together. So I guess I'm just gonna come back when this fixed by itself. Or at least while I can get the screw inside here. We will continue the repair. Now that we are at the final part, can finish it, and I fixed a little problem